System malfunctioning. System reactivated. Striker drone detected. Rogue explosive seeker mine detected. Rogue stinger hive detected. Rogue portal initiated. Rogue striker drone detected. System curtailed. System restored. Landmark has been cleared. Rogue hive detected. System malfunctioning. Now detecting contaminated gear.
What's up, agents? Patrick Wolf here. Welcome to another Division 2 build video. Today's video is going to be an incredibly powerful SMG build for PvP. Now, you can use this in PvE if you would like. This is going to work incredibly well playing solo in the dark zone or in conflict, but it's going to be more potent in the dark zone. And for PvE, what I would change about this build is just add like an intimidate chess piece, but this build would work really well in any kind of situation in this game. The main reason why I brought this build up was I was trying to go solo manhunt or just go rogue in the dark zone, and I was getting bullied a lot. I couldn't really survive, so I wanted to try find a way to use the strongest parts of the game whilst not having to spec too much into skill power or skill tiers, should I say. I wanted to just make sure I could use one element that could mitigate the focus fire from multiple agents, and I finally found it. The Banshee Pulse is incredibly powerful. Now, the skill haste or the cooldown for the Banshee Pulse isn't very good, but with a combination of the Memento backpack and some skill haste mods, I can get my cooldown to just under 10 seconds with the Banshee Pulse. And this is by no means a skill tier build. It is focused on high armor and high damage. We have over 70,000 regen, over 102,000 damage a bullet with our SMG, over 120% critical hit damage, and we have got over 80% skill haste, which is insane. So this is going to be great if you want to go in the DZ and just survive and mow down multiple agents. It works incredibly well, and it's one of my strongest SMG builds I've ever made. So the specialization, we're going to go through it right now. The gunner specialization is a must use. Why? Because of the Banshee Pulse. When enemies are in front of you or agents are surrounding you, you charge this up, you hold the button down, and you spam this. Now, if we use our secondary weapon, I'll show you guys in a second how to do that, we can increase the duration and the status effect by 50%, which is incredible. Now, depending on what kind of gun you use, I will show you right now what I'm holding on my secondary, but we can actually extend the duration with these modifications right here. So make sure you have this activated, and we can actually make them drunk. And when players are drunk, I don't know if you guys know this, but they move around, they sway around. It's absolutely hilarious. I'm sure you had a good time watching the gameplay. They can't do anything. In 1v1s, I will win. If I hit you with this Banshee Pulse, you're gonna die. It's hilarious. It's very, very powerful. So make sure this is all activated. The only problem with this specialization is the armor kit isn't as good as the firewall, but we can make do. We have so much regen on this build, it doesn't even matter. We have unbreakable as well, so you can imagine we have over 1.5 million armor. So make sure SMG damage is up and everything else should be activated. So let's take a look at the build. So I wanted to try and get damage and survivability. Now I was going to go for 2-piece Golan minus 1 Sokolov or Grupo or something like that, but I found that the regen was too much. Now with the memento bag we do stack up to 3% armor regen, so there's no need to go for 2 Golan or even a Balston. Now with the crit damage we've got 2 Sokolov, which gives us SMG damage, crit damage, and then more Grupo crit damage, which is great. We have high crit damage, high armor regen, like I said, over 70,000 regen when we are stacked up. Now when you die in the dark zone, you will lose all your stacks, but it is so quick to get stacks. Just farm a landmark for like 2 minutes and you get basically half stacked. It's really easy, and I recommend if you are in the DZ, it's just a better way to play, especially because a lot of players are using this memento these days. That's what I've noticed. So the weapon that I've gone for is going to be the Banshee. Now you can use whatever SMG you want. Lady Death is fine, whatever it may be, but I do like this gun because it's got a very big magazine, 900 RPM, over 100k base damage with this build, which is insane. What I've gone for is in sync, damage to targets out of cover. Now when you're modifying it, just make sure to have the plus 20 rounds mag, crit chance, crit damage, and then all you have to do is go to your statistics and have a look. We've got 59% crit chance, 128% critical hit damage. Our regen right now is 73,000, which is incredible. Our skill haste, this goes up to, I think it's over 70% skill haste. You'll probably see a picture I'm putting up now. So the cooldown goes down immensely with this build, which is nice. So we get it back really quick. Like I said, within 10 seconds, we are fully stacked up, somewhere around there. So let's go through the pieces now. 1.5 million armor. Golden gear is going to be 1 piece. Now the main reason for this is because of the status effect. Now I tried this without the Golan 1 piece. It wasn't as good. It doesn't work that well in PvP because it is mitigated. It says on the Banshee pulse that it pulses them for duration 8.4 seconds. In PvP it does not do that. When you actually put up the PvP statistics, it still says 6.8. That's not the case. It's quite less than that. I would say it's about 2 seconds, 2 to 3 seconds with this build, which is ridiculously good because normally it's not even a second. So this is going to give us a lot of utility, and the fact that it stacks up with the memento bag, which gives you skill efficiency. So we will talk about all of that when we get to the bag. So 1 piece Golan is quite important. So you can decide how much regen you want to have baseline. Without memento stacks, I think the regen is somewhere along the lines of 30,000. What I can do is, because I have got some stacks on me right now, I can quickly just change and it should reset it. So baseline, I have got 29. Okay, so just below 30,000 regen, but that, like I showed you, goes over 70k. So it's up to you how much regen you want. You can really overdo this. I guess it depends how much survivability you want. Maybe if you go for Intimidate on the chest, but Intimidate doesn't really work too well in PvP unless you're killing players left, right, and center, which is not the easiest thing to do. But this build could definitely work, but I do not have any problems with damage. So let's go through the rest of the build. So the Golden gear is going to have armor regen, crit chance, and critical hit damage modification, and then a skill haste modification on the backpack. The chest piece, Grupo, for that extra critical hit damage. We want to make sure we're critting because that's the whole primary focus of this. We want to focus on our crits, which is pretty good because I can hit quite high numbers on enemy agents. Crit damage, crit chance, more crit damage, and Unbreakable. Unbreakable is just too good in PvP right now. It's a must use. Now, I tried this with Intimidate. I tried it with a whole bunch of other damage talents, but Unbreakable just always wins the fight. It's just too strong. I really do recommend you guys use it. Then we have got Sokolov. Now, we've got 2 pieces of Sokolov, which gives us SMG damage and crit damage. I've rolled crit chance, armor regen, and armor. On the gloves, these are going to be the firm handshake gloves, which is quite important. Extra 15% status effects with armor regeneration. So definitely use these. They're very powerful because we do get a whole 15%, which makes the difference between how long, that's the thing. The Banshee Pulse does not last too long in PvP. That's why we need to try and stack some status effects. It's a fun way to play, and you feel really powerful when you have this because just knowing that they're going to be down, you can actually put a whole magazine into a player. That's how long it lasts while they are running around drunk. It's hilarious. Then the knee pads are going to be the Murakami, armor regen, crit damage with armor rolls, skill duration, doesn't help that much. Remember, that doesn't count towards the duration they are put on the disorient. Just remember that, guys. So the memento bag, we have got weapon damage, armor, and we have skill haste, which is just going to work in our favor all the time. We actually have a tier 6 shield with this, which is nice. So then let's take a look at the talent. If you guys aren't aware, this is what's going to happen. We're going to be getting weapon damage, bonus armor, and skill efficiency. Skill efficiency is status effect as well. It's skill haste, it's skill duration, it's everything. So it's going to give us so much utility for our shields. We have over 6 million health for our shield, which is crazy. We also have a lot more weapon damage. So that's going to be short-term buffs, and the long-term buffs are going to equate to 30% weapon damage. We're going to be getting 30% skill efficiency, which is going to, like I said, going to give us so much skill haste and give us more. It's going to make our Banshee pulse last longer and be able to get it back quicker. Then we have got another 3% armor regeneration, which is huge. That's how we can survive so much. So I do recommend giving this a try in the Dark Zone, or even Conflict. You can stack this. Now, a lot of people don't use it in Conflict, but it does work. But you obviously have to get a lot of the kills, so your teammates can't do it for you. So skill haste, we've got 12%. That's the modification I've gone for here. Now, you don't need it, but I just wanted to make sure that I had my skill haste at a decent point, even if I don't have stacks. So a 24-second cooldown isn't too bad, but like I said before, we can get it down to 10 seconds with the memento fully stacked, which is insane. Also, the shield, it goes from 4.7 to over 6 million health, which is just ridiculous. When it comes to secondary weapons, sometimes I use the capacitor. It's really good at beaming from long ranges. It has quite decent accuracy, and it makes use of the extra yellow because we get more damage per skill tier that we have, 7.5% weapon damage. But a lot of the times, and what you saw in the footage, even though it was difficult to find players in the last few days, if I'm honest, guys, I apologize for the lack of footage. But what I also use in addition to that is sometimes this Everlasting Gaze, which gives us perfect perpetuation. It works normally. I tried the normal talent on the SMG. We need the extra damage. What you can do is actually shoot this. Then what happens is it lasts as long as it lasts, as long as you're holding this gun. Then you Banshee pulse someone after you procced it. Don't swap, otherwise it'll take it away. And then you swap to your SMG and beam them down. That's 50% status effect duration for the Banshee pulse, which is really, really good. Now, if you wanted to add, instead of a shield, use like a Singer Hive, things like that, it could make this even stronger. So the Banshee pulse, make sure, this is quite important, make sure you do put the radius mod and the 15% radius and 15% effect duration. Quite important for this build, it does work. Then the shield. We have got shield health, and holstered regen. The damage won't work because this is a gunner specialization. We don't have the firewall shield. If you guys want to check out any of the other statistics, I will pause the video and you can take a look for yourself. This build is incredibly powerful. I have won almost every single 1v1 I've had with this. Now, you can call it cheesy sometimes, but I think it's important if you're fighting multiple agents. This is going to help you so much in the Dark Zone or any kind of content regarding PvP, maybe even PvE. Like I said, maybe use Intimidate rather for PvE, then it will work great. But in PvP, I really do feel incredibly powerful. I'm going to be using this more often because it's one of my favorite builds to use. That Banshee pulse gives you such a huge advantage. The range is far. It works incredibly well. Now, we do have one skill tier which does help it. Now, if you want to have a look and see what kind of utility you get from the one skill tier, it tells you here. So disorient duration, 20%, great. Now, if you want to have another skill tier, you can go for that. You will be able to make them even more drunk. Maybe even go tier 6 to support your teammates. There's so many ways you can make this build, and like I said before, it's always my goal to give you guys ideas to make fun builds. The content in this game is quite dry, and you know, always use my builds, adapt them to suit your own playstyles. Don't just copy them. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below for this build. If you like it, if you don't, and I'm going to be using this quite often on stream, so make sure you come follow me on Twitch. I also make YouTube videos on my secondary channel for Outriders or any other game that I'm playing. Link will be in the description. With that being said, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll be seeing everybody very soon in the next video. Peace out, guys.